Uh, Hi. Hey there, everyone. This is Cal. There's been, you know what, with the release of of a video game recently from the Talk House. There's were some people who are like, well, what up with a second Mario thing? Is that like literally dead and buried in the backyard of Raukau? The answer is no, because it's not my backyard. It's a communal backyard for my apartment complex. Also, well, essentially, yes. There's been, a growing interest in trying to actually finish this thing with new management. We had a long string of managing people for this game, which is kind of dumb. But now Alex, with the aid of Kaizo Man, are being extremely trying to push this to completion. There's not that much left to do, but it's been a while. I've been saying there's not a whole lot much left to do, so Alex asked me to do a more serious sort of update video because I've always been kind of jokey and kind of maybe not being honest with what was actually left to do and the sort of help we need. So here's a more serious video. Ultimately, we've decided to do a Kickstarter to fund. No, that's not true. So this is what's left, basically. Tenta has I think his level is done. This means their level are done, and they're just not in the ROM yet. So Shadow Dragon X is the last one that has level done, and he basically exploded in the thing recently. Like, I'm talking normal level essentially here. But he's close to being finished, although it's been like a year since he said that, but, whatever. He's still working on this thing. There's no real ETA. Final level has been done by Frankie. And credits level, okay. So yeah, Professor Dimitri was supposed to do the credits level, but then he or she kind of disappeared. So we might be someone interested in doing a replacement, because we want the credit level to be in, like, not just a level with all the credits in it, but an actual level you can play with platforming and stuff. So, yeah, this is management stuff. Overworld. As far as I'm aware, Kaizo Man and Alex have been starting an effort to actually do the overworld. I do know that Paralars did, like, compile the sub-maps together, and he said he was working on the main map, but then I don't know what happened with that. And I don't know if they're going to be using the art we did for the sub maps when in their effort to redo it, but the thing is that that's basically one of the biggest hurdle, and this is being actively worked on. Basically, the real things that are left to do that we would need help is the credits level, like I said, and the sibling halls. Basically, as y'all know, the Talk House is not a super huge community, and of that not super huge community, there's not a super huge portion that knows how to use lunar magic, let alone do actual bosses and whatnot. Since we didn't want to use the stupid Mario World bosses or be stuck with 5 Big Boos, although the World 7 Big Boo in a2mt was neat. Instead, besides, like, the one, platforming is always funner than, bosses in Mario. So instead of bosses, like, spoiler, I guess, they're gonna be, like, short, slightly out of place platforming segments. There are 2 that are completely done. Mine is done, but not assembled, but Alex said he's gonna be on it. These were just taken, I think. Nevada, the plant-based one, I know Shumanator kind of had made most of it, but then released his resources because he could not finish them. I don't know what's the status with that. And Pili and Kaleoka are just basically the 2 that are left. Essentially, so we definitely need someone for this if the Professor Dimitri doesn't pop up, and definitely for these 2. For the sibling halls, basically, no, we're not asking you to dedicate a whole level. We're asking you to do something fairly short, like nothing more than, I'd say, between 5 and 10 screens max. And you don't need necessarily be that hard, because we also need those for earlier levels, so something to keep in mind. So yeah, otherwise, that's managerial stuff. I'm not sure there. These are a lot of stuff that basically, you know, requires managing things, and bug testing is once we actually get a sort of working alpha. Otherwise, that's where we're at. And I know when I said there's not a whole lot of stuff left to be done, this is concretely what is left to be done. And again, you know, we don't need a whole lot of help for now, but we do need for, you know, those bits that are left. If you want to help out with this, I'm going to link in the text box for this particular video the thread for the sibling hall, so you can look at the information of what exactly is required. I'm keeping that relatively loose so as not to spoil stuff for people who might be reading this but don't want to know the details, I guess. I don't know. Otherwise, yeah, this is raocow, and this was the a2mt checklist update thing. Word for the talk house. Let there be speech. Also, Maggle 2, you know, make a good level of you know, contest starting now. I'm gonna make a separate video for that tomorrow, but if you're interested, just you know, go on the Talk House and go on here and go check it out. And you go out there and you read this and you send things. I'm gonna make a separate video for this tomorrow. This is raocow. See y'all in a half shell. Turtle power.